We will build a CSS layout without any graphic. This is just the layout. Consists of header and then menu and then the content section and then the right side section and then the footer. In the design view, it will look like this, and if you preview in the website, it looks like this. Okay, it have fixed width and a line at the center. I will start from a blank file, HTML, and then create, then save it. Okay, give a suitable name without spaces, without any symbol. I'll give it as imran3.html. Currently it's empty, and then I will create a new CSS file. And I save it as imran3.css. Both must be in the same folder. Now to link them together, all you have to do is go to the HTML file, and then go to Windows, CSS Designer, then you click on the plus here, and then attach existing CSS file, and then look for the file that we have created. In my case, it's imran3.css. So now they are linked together. It's here, yeah. Now back to our HTML file. So now we have nothing. The first step is you have to add a div. So div is basically a box to put your content. Okay, the first div, this is the first div. When you check your code, yeah, view, split, I will use the code design and I will split it vertically to make it easier to view the code side by side. Split vertically. When you add a div, this is how it look like. Okay. Now I will check the properties. Okay. For a div, there is a div ID and there is a class. The correct step is when you add a div, we give it a name. So let me delete it first. You can delete it from here, the design, or you can delete it from the code. The code is in line 10, so if I want to delete, I can delete from the code, or I can delete it from dreamweaver. At the bottom, you also have the div indicator at the bottom of your dreamweaver. Okay, body div. So if you want to delete, you can also delete from here. Okay, so there are a few ways how you can access the particular content, either from the code, the visual, or at the bottom usually there's a structure of the tag. Okay, let's do it again. Insert div. You have to give it a name. The name of the class, container, and then okay. Inside this div, we insert another div. Okay, insert div. So it will ask where do you want to put it. We will put it after the correct way is we should put the next div inside this div. So I press enter. This text can be deleted. Okay, this is the main container, we don't use it. Okay, so I insert another div. Okay, here this div will appear in the previous div. We will put it the name of the class as header. We haven't created the class, we use the name first. Header. Okay, the next div, I put my mouse or cursor to the next line so that I can insert another div. The next div is of course for our menu. Okay, some like the name nav for navigation. Okay, the next div, okay, we have header nav. I put my cursor at the next empty line. but still in the same container. If you look at the code, the structure is, check the code, yeah. So the container at line 10 contain two diff, header and nav. Okay, visually it look like this, in the code it look like this. Okay, in the structure, if you look at the bottom, whenever you click header, okay, you see that here you can select body, div, container, div, and then header. So that's how you can select the item in your design. Okay, the next div is we have the content section. So insert another div, and the class name is content. Okay, and the right side, insert another div and name it as, the class name is the right. Later we'll arrange content on the left, right. The right should be on the right. Okay, and the last one is footer. Insert div, and then the name of it is footer. Okay, so we have to rearrange all of this. Okay, the first thing is we will show the CSS designer. Okay, in your CSS designer, you can click the header, the nav, and the content, the right, footer. But currently there's no CSS rule attached to them because we haven't defined the CSS rule. So let's begin with the container itself. Container is this large box. Okay, if you can't select the containers because maybe you are in the live view. If you are in the live view, you'll see something like this. So if you select anything, you'll see the blue indicator box. Okay, so if you are in the design view, you can select. I would like to define the CSS for container. So to define the CSS of the container, you can click at the bottom here, container. So I want to define the CSS for the largest box. Since I can't really select from here, so I use the selector at the bottom here, container. Okay, now I will define the CSS rule for the container. We'll add, and then automatically it will know that I want to define what is the property of the container. Okay, I will press enter, and then I will untick this show set, remove it, untick, and then I set the width to 1000 pixel, 1000 pixel. So the largest box here will be 1000 pixel. Okay, if you activate the ruler, you can check that the size is 1000 pixel. Okay, if I want to set the location of this box to be at the middle of the page, I can set the margin. This one I can set it to auto, and then on the right also auto. Okay, so now if you look at your design, the position of the box should be at the center. Okay, the container now is at the center of your page. If I resize it, make it narrower, maintain at the center. Okay, the position of the container. Okay, next I want to define what is the properties of the header. So I click header, or again at the bottom of your Dreamweaver, you can select the tag header. Okay, then you can define the CSS property for the header. Click plus. Okay, it's already know that I want to define the header, and the name of the class will be .container.header. It means that header is a sub element of container. I did not type this. This one appeared automatically because I selected header just now here. Okay, and then you press enter. So for the header, for example, I want the color to be, let's check the color. Okay, so the properties is organized based on category: layout, text, then border, and then background. Okay, if I want to define the color, let's say the header color is black. Okay, press enter. You see that the header now becomes black. Okay, next, if you want to put the title of your page, you can start typing. Of course, the font is not visible because currently the font is black. So if you want to define the text style, click on the text, color, something bright, white. Okay, so here I will put run site. Okay, and if you want to set the alignment, you choose text align middle. Okay, next is the height of the header. Okay, that one is under layout. You can set the minimum height is, let's say, 100 pixel, 100 px. Okay, so now it is, the height is 100 pixel. Next, the navigation. Let's say I want to define what is the style for the navigation. I click anywhere within this box. Then I can click add selector. It's already know that I want to define what is the style for nav, container.nav. Okay, press enter. Okay, so the container.nav, let's say the menu, I want it to be yellow. So I will go to the color setting and then choose something which is yellow. Okay, done, it's yellow. So the menu, maybe we have home and then other element. Okay, project about. Okay, later we will format this. Same goes here. If you want to make it center, same method, alignment center. Okay, now it appear at the center. Okay, next, content. Content, let's say I don't want to take the whole 1000 pixel. The width of my container is 1000 pixel. So I will define that the content is, let's say, 700 pixel and the right will be 300 pixel, because we want the final output to be something like the one shown in the beginning of the tutorial. Okay, okay, so if I refer to my design previously, we have content and the right side. So let's say this one is 700 pixel, this one is 300. Okay, to do that, we will go to content first, click content, and then again in the CSS selector, CSS designer, you click plus. Okay, it knows that we want to define contain content, press enter. Next, the width is 700 pixel. Okay, height, let's say the height of the column is 300. Okay, so now it becomes like that. Maybe we can define the color so we know that which one is the content area. Okay, next, we will define the right side. The right side will have the same height, 300, and the width is 300. Okay, so I click content for class right. Okay, then I will click class selector and then enter, and then the size width is 300 pixel, height is also 300. Okay, now if you check the live view, Okay, the position is incorrect. Right should be somewhere at the right side. So to correct it, we can add another properties, which is float. Yeah, for container right, okay, to set the position, we float it on the right, and for the content, we have to float it as well. Okay, content, also float it on the left. Okay, once you do that, you see that they are now side by side. Okay, they are side by side. Right, I can put some color for the background. So for the right, I will click right and change the color, just to make sure that we know what this uh, div name. Yeah. Okay, and the footer. Okay, footer, let's say I want to color the footer to be, okay, select the footer and then click the plus selector. This one you need to do it if it doesn't exist in the list of the selector. If it's already exists, you don't have to click plus. So footer, we haven't defined the style, so we click plus. Now it will add the new style, the class for footer. Press enter. So let's say the footer, the background color is something gray. And the text alignment is center. Text align center. Okay. So now, if you want some padding, you see that the text now is very near to the border. Okay, let's say I want to make some space between the border and the text. I can press spacebar, but that is not convenient because if I enter, it's still near to the border. So this is what we call padding. Okay. The problem with padding is if you add pad, it will increase the size of this particular div. Okay, I want to add pad for the right side so that my text is not too near to the border. So I will go to the container right, and then container right, yeah. And then for the layout, we find the pad, yeah. Okay, if you choose set shorthand, it will apply to all four sides of the div, the top, left, right, and bottom. Okay, let's say the pad I put 10 pixel. Okay, what happened is now when you add pad 10 pixel, what happened is before this it was 300 pixel. When you add pad, it will increase the size, becomes 10 on the left, 10 on the right, so it can't fit this area anymore. So your layout will eventually become something like this. Footer goes up because it can fill up this space. Right is pushed down because it cannot fit this area. This area is 300 only. 300 pixel. Okay. Because my container is 1000. This one is 700. The right side is now have pad, so it can't fit this area. It becomes 320 now. So to fix that, we have another setting. Whenever you add pad, you have this problem. So the solution is we go to the properties for the right, okay, container right, and then you look for the layout and then box sizing. Okay, box sizing, you choose border box. Okay, now when you apply border box, now it will be back at the original position. Okay, so for footer to be safe, sometimes the footer move to the left or right. So for the footer, usually if you want to maintain the position, especially if there are multi-column, for example, here there are 2 columns, and after that we want back to 1 column. Footer is 1 column. So for the footer, usually you can go to the setting for the footer and then set the clear. So it will ignore all the float element. Okay, clear both. Okay, done. Next, the menu. For the menu, home about project, let's say we have another one, video. Usually menu, we have to define it as unlisted, unordered list. Okay, so this menu item, after you type it, you declare it as unordered list. Okay, under properties, you click this unordered list button or the bullet symbol. Okay, once you do that, you have to press, you see the bullet is here because we have only one item. It's considered as one item. So the correct way is after home, we press enter. Project is the next bullet, about is the next bullet, and video is the next bullet. Okay, now to make them as horizontal item, whenever you have bullet, it will be, the correct term is unordered list. Okay, so now if you want to format it to become horizontal menu, you select this nav class. Okay, the nav class here. Okay, we want to identify the CSS designer. Right, whenever you click, let's say you click home and then click the add selector. Wait, it doesn't recognize. Let me remove it first. Okay, to be safe, I click UL because I want to define the style for the unordered list. If I don't click it here, it doesn't recognize what I want to actually define. Unordered list, and then we will click plus. Okay, so now the new class is container nav UL. UL is unordered list. Okay, so that is what I want to format. Okay, so for the UL unordered list, I can define the style. The style is for the text. You can define the font family for the menu. Okay, and then you look for the display. Display you change to inline. Okay, so once you do that, display inline, you see that correction, you should select nav ul li. Okay, the last one, li, the list itself. This one is unordered list, this one the list itself. We click li and then we will define the class for li. So click plus, so it will recognize that I want to define the style for li. For li, I will set the display to be inline. Okay, so if you change to inline, Okay, you'll see that all the word will be horizontal. Okay, to increase the space between the words, you can uh, modify the nav ulli properties and set the padding. Okay, the padding on the right, for example, I increase to 20 pixel. Okay, so the distance on the right will be 20 pixel. If you want to make it balanced, then 20 on the 20 on the left, 20 on the right. Okay, so now we have the website for our layout properly done, and then we save and then preview in browser. F12. Okay, so the width is 1000 pixels. Okay, this is the step by step, so we know how to actually play around with the CSS designer. Another way is we can use online CSS layout builder. For example, if you search for CSS layout builder, you'll get one of it is layout it. Okay, it is using grid generator, or this one CSS layout generator. You click this one, it will be something like this. You want fixed or liquid? Fixed means it doesn't change the layout. Liquid, it will follow the size of the screen. Let's say I choose liquid, I include header, you choose a foreground color, background color. Background color you can choose here. Okay, and then if you want a menu, okay, the color of the menu. And if you want a footer, the color of the footer. Okay, and then do you want a sidebar? Is it left, right, or both? Right and left. Okay, what's the size of the left? What's the size of the right? Maybe left bar is slightly bigger. Okay. Of course, my color selection is not really good. Okay. So once you got the output, it looks like this, or you can go back to edit what you actually want. Now, to use it, you can download the layout, get the zip file, you extract it, extract all. Okay, so this is a faster way, but of course you have to know the basic. So to know the basic, I recommend that you learn how to build from scratch before you use any other tools. Okay, so these files are in HTML and CSS folder. So if you want to edit, you just right click and then open with Dreamweaver. Since we already know some basic in Dreamweaver, we can easily edit it. If you don't know the basic, then it's difficult for you to edit. Okay, so if you want to edit, maybe now you know how to actually edit. For example, if I want to edit the purple header here, all I need to do is, okay, you make a right click and then inspect. Okay, when you inspect, okay, it will show you in the CSS designer what is the properties of the selection. There are too many code, so I suggest you right click and then inspect one by one to modify the properties. Okay, for example, here I want to change the header. Yeah, right click, inspect. Okay, so after I inspect, I will know that this is Okay, not all inspection will successfully show you where the code is located. Okay, so here in the CSS designer, it show header. Okay, so I click header, and I know the properties is 100%. The height is 75 pixel. So if I want to change anything, I change it here. Yeah. So same goes for the next element. This is menu. So if I want to change the property of the yellow color menu, right click, inspect. Okay, so here sometimes it doesn't really show me what I want to edit. Okay, so another way is you can locate the code by looking at the code view. Yeah. So here, if I click this is menu, I know that the class is okay, this one. The ID is navigation. Okay, so the navigation doesn't have any class. So if I want to edit the CSS, it's here. All right, so these are the navigation code. You can also edit here. If I change this to 100, for example, okay, so the navigation become 100 pixel in height. The color, I want it to be cyan. Okay, now it's cyan. Okay, that's all.